All right, today we're diving into something that's on pretty much everyone's mind, the search for happiness. But not just any happiness. We're talking about a kind of deep, continuous harmony that can touch every single part of our lives.
So, let's just start with the biggest question there is, right? What is the one thing that every single one of us is really looking for? I mean, when you strip everything else away, what's that one fundamental drive we all share?
The answer is actually pretty simple. It's a state of continuous happiness and a sense of prosperity. And we're not just talking about those quick little bursts of joy, but a real, lasting sense of well-being. That's the goal for all of us. But if it's so simple, why does it feel so hard to actually achieve?
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. It's this paradox. We're raised to think that if we just get enough stuff, enough money, enough things, we'll be happy. But look at this. On one side, you have people who are materially deficient, and they're unhappy. Makes sense. But then you look at the other side, the people who are materially affluent, and they're also often unhappy and feel deprived. So clearly just piling up physical things isn't the answer. So what is?
Well, the method we're exploring today is a process called self-exploration. And the whole idea is to stop looking for answers out there in the world and instead to start turning our attention inward to find the answers within ourselves. So what exactly is self-exploration? It's basically the process of figuring out what's truly important to you, not based on what someone else tells you, but by looking inside. The key here is that your guide is your own experience and your own natural gut feelings. It's about discovering your own truth. And this whole process works using two very simple but really powerful tools. The first one is called natural acceptance. That's that deep, quiet feeling inside you that just knows what's right. For example, the idea of being respectful feels good and right, doesn't it? The idea of being disrespectful? Not so much. That's natural acceptance. The second tool is experiential validation. This means you don't just blindly believe an idea, you test it out in your own life. Does living this way actually lead to more harmony for you and the people around you? You verify it for yourself. So let's see how this all builds, starting right at the very beginning, with ourselves. The first step is to find harmony right here within us, between ourself and our body. Now here's a huge idea. A human being isn't just one single thing. We're actually a coexistence of two very different realities. There's the self, the I, that's the part of you that is conscious, the part that thinks and feels, and then there's the body, which is the physical tool that the self uses. And this table just lays out the difference so perfectly. Look at the self, the I. Its need is happiness, and that need is continuous. You don't just want to be happy on the weekend, right? It's also qualitative. You can't measure happiness in pounds or dollars. Now look at the body. Its needs are for physical things, food, clothes, and those needs are temporary. You eat, you get full, and they're quantitative. You need a limited amount of food. The big mistake we all make is trying to fulfill the continuous, qualitative need for happiness with temporary, quantitative things. It doesn't work. So, the takeaway here is absolutely crucial. The body is just an instrument for the self. The I is the one in the driver's seat. The I is the one that sees the world, the one that makes the decisions, and the one that actually experiences joy or sadness. Getting this relationship right is the foundation for everything else.
Okay, so once we start to find that harmony within ourselves, we can start to expand that same understanding to how we deal with other people. Let's talk about harmony in our relationships.
Now, when we talk about justice in this context, we're not talking about courtrooms or laws. It's much more personal. It's simply about making sure there's mutual happiness in a relationship. And that happens when we can recognize the important values in that relationship and then actually live up to them. And what are those most important values? Well, the foundation for pretty much any healthy relationship boils down to two absolute pillars: trust and respect. So let's break those down. Okay, trust. This is huge. Building trust is all about understanding the massive difference between someone's intention and their competence. Our deep core intention, our natural acceptance, is always positive. We want to be happy and we want to make others happy. Where we mess up is in our competence, our ability to actually pull it off. And here's the trap. We judge ourselves based on our good intentions. I meant well! But we judge other people based on their lack of competence, on their actions, and that's where mistrust is born.
So what about respect? Well, again, it's not about being polite or admiring someone. In this framework, respect is about right evaluation. It means seeing other people for who they truly are, another being, just like you, who is a coexistence of a self with the exact same desires for happiness and a body.
This means any time we differentiate or judge people based on these kinds of things, it's actually a form of disrespect. When we evaluate someone based on their body, their race, their age, or on their wealth and status, or even on their beliefs, we are not performing a right evaluation. We're missing the real person, the self, and that is the root of so much conflict in the world.
So you can start to see how this all connects, right? How this understanding just creates this amazing ripple effect, moving from ourselves outward into the world.
And this slide just shows the path so clearly. It all begins inside you, with harmony in the self. When you find that, you can naturally create harmony in your family. And when families are harmonious, they become the building blocks for a harmonious society. And a society that's in harmony with itself can finally learn to live in harmony with nature. It all starts from within.
So we'll leave you with this final thought to continue your own self-exploration. If deep down we know that the happiness we're looking for is this continuous, qualitative feeling, why do so many of us spend our entire lives chasing temporary, quantitative things, hoping that the next purchase or the next promotion will finally be the thing that fills that void? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us.